can't defeat me. You're just a big, fat
mathematician.
I'm not a big fat
Mathematician.
I'm the big fat
Mathematician.
The whooshy finger.
Oh, you know this hold.
You're bluffing. You're bluffing. Shifu didn't teach you that.
Nope. I figured it out. Skadoosh.
Okay, now we're going to be talking about the 6th family. And how many members are in the 6th family? 6 of them. There is 1/6, or 1 divided by 6. 2/6, or 2 divided by 6. 3/6, or 3 divided by 6. 4/6, or 4 divided by 6. And 5/6, or 5 divided by 6. And me, 6/6, which we know is 6 goes into 6 one whole time, which equals, when you multiply it by 100 to make this into a percent, or move 2 butt cheeks, 1, 2, it will be 100%. Now, one thing you have to ask yourself now is, with the 6th family, is there any other previous families that belongs with the 6, or in other words, goes into 6? Well, we have the 2nd's family, which really only has one proper fraction, which is a half. Now, which of these is a half? And that would be 3/6. What factor goes into 3 and 6? And it has to be greater than 1. And that would be 3. So 3 divided by 3, equals 1. And what you do to the top, you technically do to the bottom. 6 divided by 3 is 2. And there's your half, which we know 2 cannot go into 1, so we add a 0, and 2 goes into 10 5 times, and since it's a proper fraction or a common fraction, we know that the decimal goes in front. So it's 5/10. And to make that decimal into a percent, you can either multiply it by 100 or just move the butt cheeks to the right, the decimal, 1, 2, and fill the empty one, the empty butt cheek, with a 0. And we have 50%. So far, we've already finished 2 of the family members, but technically there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 common or proper fractions. Is there another family member that can go into 6 evenly? And the answer is yes. It is the 3rds. What do we know about the 3rds? What's their specialty? They repeat. And what were the 2 fractions? 1/3 and 2/3. Is there any 1/3 or 2/3 here? Well, the secret is that whenever you have an even number over an even number, you know it can be reduced. So what factor greater than 1 can go into both 2 and 6? The answer is 2. So if you went 2 divided by 2 And 6 divided by 2, that would make 2 divided by 2 is 1. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Same thing goes with 4/6. What factor greater than 1 can go into both 4 and 6? And that would also be 2. So divide the numerator by 2 and the denominator by 2, which equals 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. Now, we should already know what this is as a decimal. If not, you say to yourself, can 3 go into 1? No. You add a 0. 3 goes into 10 how many times? 3 times without going over. And since it is a proper fraction, we know it has to be a decimal. So the decimal goes in front. Same thing with 2/3. 3 can't go into 2, but 3 can go into 20 6 whole times. Now, don't forget, the thirds repeat. So it's 3/10 repeating, and this is 6/10 repeating. Now, in order to convert 3/10 repeating into a percent, a rounded percent, we multiply by 100. 1, 2. And don't forget, 1 divided by 3, 1 divided by 3 is 3/10 repeating. And when we move it to decimal places, it's going to look like this. So we underline in our heads the whole number, box the 3. This 3 tells the 3 in the ones place to stay the same. So that means we have 33%. Now, it also has a fraction percent. Once again, you still move the decimal, move 2 butt cheeks to the right, and you're still going to have 33. Now, what fraction makes point right here, decimal 3333333, and that would be 1/3. So it's 33 and 1/3%. And as a decimal percent, what is 1/3 as a decimal? Well, 1/3 as a decimal is 3/10 repeating. So then it's 33 and 3/10 repeating percent. Going back up to here, same thing. If we did 2 divided by 3, we get 6/10 repeating. Now don't forget, calculators make this 7 just because it cannot go on forever. So they round whatever place value that is. So if you multiply this by 100 or move 2 butt cheeks to the right, you're going to get 66 decimal 666666666. So what is this as a rounded percent? Well, let's bring the calculator back up. Remember, we underline the whole number, box the tenths place. This 6 is going to tell the 6 in the ones place to go up because this number is 5 or greater. So the answer is it will be 67% rounded. Now, what is it as a fraction percent? Well, when you multiply 6/10 repeating by 100 or move 2 butt cheeks to the right, you're going to get 66. So we have 66. And what's the fraction that makes these 6's repeat to the right of the decimal? Well, that would be 2/3. So the answer is 66 and 2/3%. And what is it as a decimal percent? Well, you multiply this by 100 or move 2 butt cheeks and you're going to get 66 again. And what is 2/3 as a decimal? Well, 2/3 is 6/10 repeating. So it's 66 and 6/10 repeating percent. Very good. So technically, the only family members we have to learn is 1/6 and 5/6. Now, 1/6, what you need to do is just get the first digit. You say to yourself, can 6 go into 1? No, so add a 0. Can 6 go into 10? Yes, 1 time. So we know that it is a common fraction, so it's a decimal, because you'll never reach 1. So there's your first digit. Let's go down here. I'll come back to the 1/6. I'm just trying to show you is when you get just the first digit, you'll understand what happens to the second digit. Can 6 go into 5? No, so you add a 0. How many times can 6 go into 50? Well, that would be 8 times. And you leave a decimal. So really, it's 8/10. Now, this goes on. Now, the trick is you have to memorize this part. Technically, like 1/3, how we could erase this right here and add a decimal. Well, the same concept is the same for 1/6. Since it's related to the thirds, we know that the thirds repeat. So then we have to assume that the 6's repeat for 1/6 and 5/6. The only one that doesn't repeat is 3/6 because that one was related to the half or to the seconds family. So your only choices are, what are the only 2 numbers that repeat from the thirds? Well, 3 and a 6. Well, look at what's right here. You got a 6 and a fraction bar. Well, guess what? That's what you're going to use. You're going to use the 6 and the repeating bar, though. So technically, the answer is 16 hundredths with the 6 repeating. Now, since we've used the 6 repeating, guess what 5/6 is going to have after the 8? And that would be the 3 repeating. And so that's how you have to memorize that. You'll get it as long as you practice it. So now, let's make this into a percent. So we multiply by 100, which I don't want you to do. Just move the butt cheeks to the right, 2 butt cheeks to the right, which is 100. And your answer is going to look like this. So we have 16 and decimal with the 6's repeating. So if we're going to do a rounded percent, we underline ones place, box the tens place. What does this 6 tell this 6 to do? It tells it to go up 1. So the answer is 17%. Now, it's going to have a fraction percent. Well, when you move the butt cheeks to the right, 2 spaces, you're going to have 16. Now, what fraction has only the 6's repeating? Well, if you remember, it's right here. And that fraction is 2/3. So that's the answer. 16 and 2/3%. Now, as a decimal percent, once again, you're going to have 16 when you move the butt cheeks twice. You're going to have 16 And the decimal, well, what is 2/3? 2/3 as a decimal. It's 6/10 repeating. And there you have it. Now we're almost finished. Now we got to finish with the 5 divided by 6, or 5/6. Again, you multiply by 100 by making butt cheeks to the right 2 places. And you get 83, but we need to round it. So it's going to look like this, 83 decimal, and the 3's are going to repeat. So we underline the ones place, we box the tenths place, and this 3 tells the 3 in the ones place to stay the same. So the answer is 83% rounded. Now what is it as a fraction percent? Well, you move the decimal twice, make 2 butt cheeks, and we still come out with 83. Now the question is, what fractions makes the 3's repeat? Well, that would be 1/3. So the answer is 1/3%. 83 and 1/3%. Now for the decimal percent, what is 1/3 as a decimal? Well, it's 3/10 repeating. So what is 83 hundredths with the 3 repeating as a decimal percent? Well, it's 83 and 3/10 repeating percent. And now we are finished with the 6th family. Whoop, whoop. Have fun. Well, kids, I hope you enjoyed the 6th family from me, Mr. Awesomeness. I got 3 eyes. No, I really got 2 heads. 2 heads are better than 1. I see you. Oh, no. Oh, oh, help. Oh, daggone. Well, I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Oh, I'm a Cyclops. Oh, my head shrunk.